All right. Salad, 1, 2, 3. All right. Hands down. Now what I want you to do now, I want you to rub your hands together as fast as you can for 30 seconds. I'll tell you when to start, and I will tell you when to stop. Rub your hands together like this, very, very fast. You ready?
Yes.
All right, ready? Go. Faster, faster, faster. Let's go. Rub those hands together. You have 20 seconds. There you go. Rub them together. Let's go. Faster, faster. 10 seconds. Oh, stay in your seat. Stay in your seat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. I want you to tell your neighbor what you feel on your hands. What do you feel on your hands? Tell your neighbor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Saeed, you feel your hands are hot? Okay. Anyone else on this table? Do you feel something different or the same that Saeed feels? Are your hands hot?
Yes.
They're hot. Okay. All right. So everyone's hands are hot, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's a good sign. Okay. Let's go ahead and give 2 points each group. Very good. Okay. All right. Your hands are hot because of friction. Friction. Everyone say friction.
Friction.
Okay. Friction is when two things are rubbing together. Or when something is moving and it's rubbing against something else. That's friction. It can be any two things that are making contact and moving. For example, I have a pencil and I have a box. If I rub these together like this is friction. 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 This is friction. Okay? All right. One thing that happens when there's friction is things get hot. Okay? There are two things that happen. So the first one, things get hot. Okay? That's the first thing that happens when there's friction. And you're going to learn something else that happens when there's friction. That's okay. I don't have a question right now. But what I want you to do now, I want you to find any two things on your table. It could be your hands, it could be a pencil, it can be the table and the chair. Any two things on your table, and I'm going to give you another 30 seconds, and I want you to create friction. But this time, I didn't say start. Thank you. This time, while you're creating friction with any two things, I want you to say friction, 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 friction. Okay? For 30 seconds. All right? Are you ready?
Yes.
Find two things to create friction with. Ready? Go. Some of you, I don't hear you saying friction. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, very nice, very nice. Very good. One thing that happens when there's friction is things get hot. Okay. Now the second thing that happens when there's friction, let me erase this. The second thing that happens when there's friction is things stop. Friction makes things stop. When you're driving a car and you press on the brakes, the car stops because of friction. If there is no friction, you can't drive a car because the car will go, but then it can't stop. And you will crash into something. Is that good? Okay. So, we have a car here. And I'm going to show you how friction makes this car stop. If there's more friction, the slower it will make the car go. If there's a little friction, then the car will go faster. Okay? Think about that. If there's more friction, a lot of friction, the car will go slow. But if there's a little friction, the car will go fast. So, on your table you have a small sheet of paper, and we're going to do a friction prediction. That means we're going to think about what will happen when we drive this car. Alright, so everybody take one. Raise your hand if you do not have a paper. You need one? You good? Okay. Okay. You guys need one? Okay. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to drive this car on the floor, and I'm also going to drive the car on the carpet. Now, I want you to talk to your group. I'll give you 1 minute. Talk to your group and answer the first question. On which surface do you think the car will go faster on? Will it go faster and further on the floor or on the carpet? Don't write anything right now. Talk to your group about it. Go. Right now you're making a prediction. What do you think will happen? And then we will see what really does happen. Yours? Okay. What do you all think? Okay, you have 20 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. 2 points every group. Who would like to share their prediction? Who would like to tell what you think will happen? What you think will happen? Yes, Andrea. You think the car on the floor will go faster and further? Okay. Raise your hand if you think on the carpet it will go further and faster. You think it will go slower on the rug? Okay. All right. Very good. So go ahead and circle the answer that you think is right, and then we'll find out. Okay. All right. Now, the second question. What do you think has more friction, the carpet or the floor? You can go ahead and circle your prediction, but right now, you don't need to talk to your neighbor. What has more friction, the rug or the floor? Alright, so I will do this one for you, this experiment with the car, but when we go to the science lab next week, on Wednesday, when we go to the science lab, you'll get to do more with your hands with the science lab people, okay, with Miss Iman and Miss Latifa. You'll be able to do it. You'll see, you'll use the ice, you'll use a lot of different things, okay? But for right now, I just want you to watch me, and all right. Miami, go to the carpet. Delhi, go to the carpet. Rome, go to the carpet. Delhi. Okay, let me have some of you on this side. Some of you stand right here. Half of you stand here, and then half of you stay over here. No, right here. Right here and turn around. Okay, just stand down there. Okay? Alright, you ready? Slide down some more so you can see. Slide down. Slide down. Okay. Alright. Let's do it this way. So, I have to make sure that I do it the same way on the floor than I do, or on the carpet than I do it on the floor. That's why I have a ruler. That's why I have a ruler, so I can make sure I do the exact same thing, okay? Alright. So I'm going to pull the car back a full 30 centimeters. You ready?
Yes.
Alright, and I'm going to stop here at the blue thing. At the blue tape. And we'll see how far it goes. I'm going to measure how far it goes. Move your feet. Ready?
Yes.
Because I have to measure. All right. When it gets to the end, don't touch it because I need to measure it with the ruler. Back up a little bit. All right, ready? Okay, leave it there. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, listen. When it gets to the end, do not touch. Do not touch. You understand? You understand? Do not touch. Just leave it. Okay, let's try this one more time. All right, ready? Can somebody tell everyone do not touch in Arabic? Thank you. All right, ready? All right. Third time's the charm. Uh-oh. All right, that's 30 centimeters. That's 60. 90. Oh, very nice. Good math. And let's say it's an extra 30, so 150, okay? So I'm going to write that on the board. You know what? Right now I hear a lot of I hear a lot of talking right now, and I don't think you're talking about science. So let's focus again. So I'm going to write it on the board. Carpet. Carpet. 150 centimeters. All right. Now let's move down to the floor. All right. I think we need to start right here. Remember, I'm going to pull it back one full length of the ruler. Ready? Can everybody see? If you can't see, stand up. Go ahead and stand up. Everybody in the front, sit down. All right. All right, here we go. All right. I don't think we need to measure this one. Do we need to measure it?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Okay. So.
From here,
All right, scholars, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Tell your neighbor if the car went further on the floor or on the carpet. Tell your neighbor. Somebody next to you. Anybody next to you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. On the floor. Okay, so since it went further on the floor and it went slower on the carpet, which has more friction? Is there more friction on the carpet or on the floor? Because okay, who can tell me what friction does? Friction makes things hot and, I'm sorry, I didn't write it on the board. Let me write it. It also makes things stop. Hot and stop. So, if it stopped sooner on the carpet, then that means there is more friction on the carpet. And there's less friction on the floor. Now, the last question that you had on your paper was, what will happen if we did the same thing and we put it on a big block of ice? What will happen if the car was on ice? What do you think will happen? Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds, and for 30 seconds, I just want you to think about what will happen. Don't say anything, don't talk to your neighbor, just think about what will happen. I'll give you 30 seconds, go. I said think about it, don't talk. Oh, nice thinking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. What do you think will happen if it was on ice? Yes, Zaya. It will not stop? Ever? It will never stop? So just keep going forever? What do you think?
He go fast.
It will go faster? Faster than the floor, huh? Okay. Yes?
Maybe he will, maybe he needs to walk. Because if he with more rest, he needs to walk. Stay in Allah.
Maybe it won't work? Okay. All right. Very good. All right. So for the last question that you see on your paper, when I tell you to go back to sit down, you're going to answer that question. What do you think will happen if it's on ice? All right. You just write one sentence. And when we go to the science lab on Wednesday, you will see what will happen on ice. Okay? All right. Rome, go sit down. Miami, sit down. Delhi. Fez. Everybody sit down. All right, I'll give you 3 minutes. I want you to answer the last question. Yeah, yeah, right. Last question. What will happen if the car drove on ice? Yes, right there. Okay. Fast, right? Very good. Okay, I see some good answers for the last question. I see some scholars who wrote no answer, and that's not acceptable. You need to write something. Yes? Very good. All right, scholars, 1, 2, 3.
Please.
Okay, Delhi, you lose a point. When I say scholars 1, 2, 3, you put your pencils down, hands on your head. You know that. All right. The last thing you're going to do, look at the question 1 and 2 and talk to your group about if your prediction or what you thought. Was your prediction right or was your prediction wrong? Okay, so study that. Was your prediction correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right.
Ready?
Yeah, sure. What'd you write? What will happen if the car drove on ice?
You go faster and not stop.
Okay. We'll see when we go to the lab. Very good. Okay. All right, scholars. 1, 2, 3. All right. Very good. All right. Now, friction makes 2 things happen. All right. Tell your neighbor what are those 2 things. Go. You have 5 seconds. Tell your neighbor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I need someone to tell me one thing that friction does. Okay. It makes things stop. And yes. Makes things hot. Very good. All right, scholars. 1, 2, 3.